Caitlin Clark's back in the game, but something's changed. The WNBA's Golden Girl just dropped a bombshell about her return that's got everyone talking. Is she ready to dominate, or is there trouble in paradise? You might think you know Clark's game, but trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. You thought being the #1 draft pick was all glitz and glamour? Caitlin Clark's first taste of the WNBA was like trying to drink from a fire hose. The pace? Intense. The expectations? Sky high. This isn't college ball anymore, and Clark felt it in every bone-crushing screen and lightning-fast break. But just when it seemed like the pressure might be too much, the basketball gods threw Clark a lifeline, the Olympic break. Now you might be wondering, how can sitting out games be good for a rookie? Well, sometimes you've got to step back to leap forward. Clark didn't mince words about the break. She straight up said, I'm just gonna try to come back and compete and hopefully have a little more legs under me, have a little more rest under me. Translation, this girl needed a breather, and she's not afraid to admit it. Think about it. Clark went from being the big fish in the college pond to swimming with the WNBA Sharks. That's enough to make anyone's head spin. The Olympic break wasn't just a vacation, it was a chance for Clark to hit the reset button, but here's where it gets really interesting. Clark also said, I feel like I'm ready to get back out there and get playing, but that's probably because that's really all I've known over the course of the last years. Well, you see what's happening here? The break gave her body a rest, but her competitive spirit, that never took a day off. This pause in the action might just be the turning point in Clark's rookie journey. It's like when you're cramming for a big test and you finally take a power nap. You wake up and suddenly everything makes sense. That's what this break could be for Clark. A chance for all those WNBA lessons to sink in. Imagine Clark's brain during this time. It's probably been replaying every game, every play, every mistake, and every triumph, all while her body gets the rest it desperately needed. It's like she's been in a hyperbolic time chamber getting stronger without even touching a ball. But let's not forget, this is Caitlin Clark we're talking about, the same player who lit up college basketball like a 4th of July fireworks show. You think a little break is going to dim her shine? No way. If anything, it's just given her more time to plot her takeover of the WNBA. When Clark steps back on that court, don't be surprised if she looks like a whole new player. We're not talking about a minor upgrade here. We're talking about Clark 2.0, with fresh legs, a clear mind, and that same killer instinct that made her the #1 pick. The rest of the league better watch out. A recharged Caitlin Clark is like a coiled spring ready to explode. She's had time to study the game, adapt to the pace, and now she's coming back with a vengeance. But here's the million-dollar question. Can Clark translate this renewed energy into on-court dominance? Will we see a more poised, more confident Clark leading the Fever? Or will the pressure of being the face of the franchise still weigh heavy on her young shoulders? One thing's for sure, Clark's not backing down from the challenge. She's chomping at the bit to get back on the hardwood. As she put it, I feel like I'm ready to get back out there and get playing. That's not just talk. That's the sound of a competitor who's been caged up and is ready to be unleashed. You thought Caitlin Clark was just another rookie? Think again. This girl's not just playing the game, she's changing it. Let's talk numbers for a second. Clark's not just good, she's leading the Fever in points and assists. That's right, a rookie is carrying the team on her shoulders like she's been in the league for years. But here's where it gets wild. Clark didn't just make the All-Star game, she's one of only 2 rookies to pull off that feat. The other, Angel Reese. Yeah, that Angel Reese. We're witnessing history in the making, folks. 2 rookies shaking up the All-Star game? That's rarer than a perfect game in baseball. Now, you might be thinking, sure, she can score, but can she lead? Well, buckle up, because Clark's leadership game is evolving faster than a point guard on a fast break. Remember when she was the big star at Iowa? Well, now she's taking that same energy and applying it to the whole team. Clark's not just about putting up points anymore, she's all about making the entire Fever squad better. And get this, she's focusing on defense. Yeah, you heard that right. The offensive powerhouse is now preaching the importance of stopping the other team. That's like a home run hitter suddenly becoming obsessed with bunting. It's unexpected, but it's exactly what her team needs. But here's the kicker. Clark's not just talking the talk. She's walking the walk. In college, she was the undisputed star. Now, she's learning to shine while making everyone around her better. That's not just rare for a rookie, it's rare for any player. Think about it. Most rookies come into the league trying to prove themselves, looking for their own shots, trying to make a name for themselves. Not Clark. She's already got the name. Now she's trying to build a legacy. She's not just aiming to be the best player on the court, she's trying to make the Fever the best team in the league. And let's be real, the Fever needed this. They've been struggling for years. But with Clark at the helm, things are looking up. She's not just giving them hope, she's giving them a future. But don't think for a second that this transition has been easy. Clark's facing pressure that would make most players crumble. She's got the eyes of the entire basketball world on her. Every move, every shot, every pass is analyzed and critiqued. But instead of shrinking under the spotlight, Clark's using it to illuminate her teammates. This is where Clark's really setting herself apart. She's not just a rookie with a hot hand, she's a leader in the making. She's taking the skills that made her a college sensation and adapting them to the pro game. It's like watching a caterpillar turn into a butterfly, except this butterfly can drain threes from half court. And let's talk about that competitive fire. Clark's not content with just being good. She wants to be great. She wants her team to be great. That's the kind of attitude that turns good players into legends. The Indiana Fever are in a fight for their playoff lives, and guess who's leading the charge? That's right, Caitlin Clark. With a record of 11-15, the Fever are clinging to the 7th spot in the standings. But here's the kicker. Only the top 8 teams make it to the postseason. Talk about pressure. Every game from here on out is do or die. The Fever can't afford to slip up, and all eyes are on their rookie sensation. Can Clark handle the heat? We're about to find out. But hold on, because this story's got more layers than an onion. While Clark's battling for a playoff spot, she's also locked in a fierce rivalry for Rookie of the Year. And who's her main competition? None other than Angel Reese. You remember Reese, right? The other rookie who made the All-Star game. Well, she's not just sitting back and letting Clark take all the glory. Reese is putting up some serious numbers, averaging 13.5 points and 11.9 rebounds per game. This isn't just a rivalry, it's a clash of titans. Every time Clark and Reese step on the court, it's like watching Magic versus Bird all over again, except this time it's in the WNBA, and these women are changing the game. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, the pressure. Clark isn't just playing for herself, or even just for the Fever. She's become the face of women's basketball. That's a lot for anyone to handle, let alone a rookie. Every move Clark makes is under a microscope. Every shot, every pass, every post-game interview, it's all scrutinized. How's she handling it? Like a pro. Clark's approach to the media frenzy is simple. Focus on the game, and she's not letting the noise distract her from what really matters. In her own words, "This is my job. This is what I love to do. I never want to lose the fun of the game." That's the kind of attitude that separates the good from the great. While everyone else is caught up in the hype, Clark's keeping her eye on the ball literally. But here's where things get really interesting. Clark isn't just a rookie trying to prove herself, she's a transformative figure in women's basketball. Her rivalry with Reese isn't just about personal glory, it's about elevating the entire sport. And think about it. When was the last time you saw this much buzz around the WNBA? Clark and Reese are bringing in new fans, sparking debates, and making people care about women's basketball in a way they never have before. This isn't just about wins and losses anymore, it's about the future of the sport. Can Clark and her generation of players take the WNBA to new heights? Can they bridge the gap between women's and men's basketball in terms of popularity and recognition? These are big questions, and Clark's right at the center of it all. But she's not backing down from the challenge. If anything, she's embracing it. The upcoming game against the Phoenix Mercury isn't just another date on the calendar. It's a chance for Clark to show the world what she's made of. It's an opportunity to prove that the Olympic break was just what she needed to take her game to the next level. But more than that, it's a chance to inspire. Every time Clark steps on the court, she's not just playing for herself or for the Fever. She's playing for every little girl who's ever dreamed of making it big in basketball. So what's next for Caitlin Clark? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the road ahead is filled with challenges, rivalries, and sky-high expectations. Can she lead the Fever to the playoffs? Can she win Rookie of the Year? Can she change the face of women's basketball? These are the questions that keep fans up at night. These are the storylines that make sports so compelling. And at the center of it all is Caitlin Clark, a rookie with the weight of a sport on her shoulders.